Do you own any Konica? How about the trio of nifty 50s? Well, today I'm going to tell you all about the three that I have, from 1.4 to 1.7 to the more economical version 1.8. So stay tuned and let me tell you all about these three.
Here I am, Vietnam. Rain is always coming down.
Camera Talk with Dr. Scott. Hi, welcome to this week's episode. What are we talking about today? Konica. That's right. Konica. We're talking about the fantastic 50s, the trio of fantastic 50s that Konica put out. Konica, started their Hexanon line throughout the 60s, 1970s, and ended off in 1987. That's when they stopped producing these little babies. Now they obviously produced many different varieties of lenses and whatnot, but the ones that are most highly sought after and were discussed in the photo mags back in the day were the nifty 50s. And I happen to have the kind of fantastic trio, they call them.
Do I feel lucky?
From 1.8 to 1.7 to the 1.4, going down to the fastest one. And of course, they're all affected by price and everything else. So what I'm going to do is just go through each one of these and give a quickie little, that's what she said, overview of it, and get a little sample. I'm going to snap a photo of our handy candy little Canon M50 that's filming this episode. So I have my Sony A7R II, and I have a Konica to Sony adapter on these. So I'm going to give you a shot of each. Now to start off with, I'm going to go with our most popular, as for most photographers go by speed, and this is the Canon.
Wow, man, that's some heavy shit, man.
Hexanon AR for auto reflex was their camera. 50mm 1.4. So this is the fastest out of the 50s, and again, it was most sought after. Everybody always wants the fastest apertures, right? So with this goes from 1.4 to f16. Later variations throughout the later 80s. Some of them went up to f22, but all the earlier models went to f16. And this is the AE. All of these three are the AE model. There was an AE and an EE model. The EE is the stood for electric eye, which is the earlier versions of these lenses, and the AE is for auto exposure. And of course, these have to do with the metering systems of the camera back in the day. Obviously, in today's world, and especially in the type of cameras that I use, they're mirrorless cameras, so that it means absolutely nothing. But still, just for your knowledge, we have an AE and an EE, double E version, and the AEs are the later versions. All three of these have 6 aperture blades, which is good enough for bokeh and whatnot, but that's not what Konica is really known for. Is its bokeh. What it is known for is for its sharpness.
That's sharp.
And the 51.4 was a very sharp lens, but of course I'm going to get on to the sharper one in just a minute. So again, the difference between the 1.4, the 1.7, 1.8 is this was designed with 7 elements in 6 groups, whereas in these were 6 elements in 5 groups, different configuration in this. This one also, looking at the production code on here, we have 4C, which actually stands for November 1974, and you have to look that up on the internet to find out why a 4C would mean that. But that's actually what it's designated as. And as I told you, I'm going to give you a shot of exactly what this lens can produce. So let me get this hooked up for you right now, so I can put it on my Sony here and give you some samples. I'm going to give you a sample of the camera I'm filming this with, just so you can get some fresh bird's eye view. And I'm going to shoot it wide open, of course, testing it for its sharpness in the 1.4 range. So let's give a shot of that. Let me focus in on the camera here. And 1, 2, 3. Cheese. So that's my photo of this, and I'll give you some other photos in a second. Obviously, my little penguin friend. So stay tuned for that.
Here I am, Vietnam. Rain is always coming down.
So that is my take on the 1.4. As I said, hopefully I'm going to make this, trying to make my videos a little faster than 20 or 30 minutes or so. So that's the 1.4. Let me take this off here. What I want to move on to now is the middle guy here, the 1.7. Now the 1.7. Again, let me get this. Get the adapter linked on here. All right, this particular one, the again Hexanon, Konica Hexanon 50 millimeter 1.7, goes again to lowest f16, and again it's an AE, the auto exposure. Now this particular one, the 1.7, is, even though it's in the middle of the pack, this one is actually the most sought after out of the 3. The 1.7 back in the day, and this one is a 7i, and that stands for October 1977. Back in those days, the photography magazines were rating this as the sharpest lens ever made by anybody. Now that's a pretty heavy statement to say, but I have to definitely concur that this is a sharp lens. It's sharper than the 1.4, and obviously sharper than the 1.8. Well, not obviously, but it is sharper than the 1.8. And what makes the again, what makes this a little bit different is again, not only is it sharp, but it's it's got loads of contrast and an evenness of illumination.
The Illuminati.
That makes for excellent image rendering and neutral color renditions. So the image quality is really fantastic on this, and the build quality too. I didn't talk about it here, but it's almost like Takamar kind of smooth. It really is just excellent. Built like a tank, good quality. The nubs here are rubberized, but they're good quality rubber. You can
has been declared the winner.
Tell, even though this is it's 40 something years old. It's it's almost like a brand new lens. So anyway, this is the 1.7, and let me give you a sample shot of that. 1.7 here. Get that on my Sony. Give me a second to. I just have to open it up. Can't have f16. So let me open it up, and of course, again, just like everything else, these are manual focus lenses, and I'm using focus peaking to get as sharp as I can on here. There's my sample shot.
Here I am, Vietnam. Rain is always coming down.
You know, just like all the lenses I'm going to talk about on this channel, because it's Modesty photography, right? How to save you money. And these are cheap compared to, you know, anybody ever priced out a modern Sony lens to go with these cameras? Nowhere near $100 or $150, or the cheapest one, you know, it's like $40 or $50 for this. You just can't beat it for that. So anyway, so that's the 1.7. Now I want to talk about the 1.8. The 1.8 is their budget version of the nifty 50s. You know, the most of the modern lenses today that are 50 millimeter. It's wild that I can't say millimeter, huh? I always want to say milliliter. If you watch all my other videos, I have the same tongue twisting challenge with that word. But anyway, this is Konica's version of the Plastic Fantastic, except the earlier version, which this one is, it's an AE still, but it does have a metal barrel, but the rest of it is plastic. You know, the aperture ring and the you know, the turning grip, or the focus grip on it, is also plastic. But you can tell it's metal. It's a metal barrel because the markings on it are engraved with you know, the ink embedded into the engraving, versus the later models, which are 100% plastic and it's just painted on top, the surface. So so this is I guess the better of the 1.8s. But anyway, it is again, just like the 1.7, it is six elements in 5 groups, and it's half plastic, half metal, 6 aperture blades, except they're reversed. This particular lens, the 1.8, the aperture blades fold in at the back, at the rear, versus these two, they fold in at the front of. So it's really physically the only difference between the aperture openings here. So this is the 1.8. It's the budget version. It's, you know, it's out there. It's not as sought after, obviously, being the budget version, but being the fact that it's a Konica, it's still sharp. That's the reputation that it has. And the date on this is 3S, which is May 1983, is when this one was produced. It's the year I graduated high school. So anyway, let's give a sample photo of this one, and then we can close out today. Anyway, let me get this on here, get this to f1.8, so we can take a look at exactly how sharp it is wide open. And again, with my focus peaking, I'm looking for my red highlights. 1, 2, 3. And everybody smile.
Here I am, Vietnam. Rain is always coming down.
All right. So that is my sample shot of the trio of the nifty 50s.
Where have all the flowers gone?
Fantastic 50s, I guess I should rather call them. So anyway, again, the other difference between the three lenses here is that the 1.7, the 1.4 were made by Konica in the Konica factory, versus the 1.8 was rumored to be made by either Tokina or Tamron. You know, as most lenses made by third-party manufacturers, they don't like to identify who they are, so it's kind of left up to the rumor world of you know, which way they're going to go. So anyway, so that's my quick rundown of the Konica trio of fantastic 50s. Again, the recommended one here, 1.7. This is the one you should definitely add to your collection if you're a nifty 50 collector like I am. You know, you see up here, most of what I've got are 50s. Of course, I've got a smattering of really everything except, you know, long range zooms, but anyway, 50s are my favorite, and or 50-ish are my favorite, and this Konica right here is definitely one of the top of the lines in my world anyway. So that's it for Camera Talk. You know, if you have any comments, please leave them below. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the like button, and you know, hopefully I'll see you in the next video, and you just have yourself a great week and a great weekend whenever you may be watching this. And remember, you belong here. Camera Talk with Dr. Scott. Bye-bye.
Here I am,